What if I told you that your brain contains a specific neural pathway designed exclusively for experiencing and creating what we call miracles? A pathway that allows you to heal physical conditions deemed incurable by medical science, access information without learning it through conventional means, influence physical reality through focused consciousness, connect with intelligence beyond your individual mind. This isn't New Age fantasy. It's neuroscience at the cutting edge of quantum biology. Today I'm going to reveal the exact location and function of this miracle pathway in your brain, why it's systematically atrophying in modern humans, and the precise protocol to reactivate it before it disappears entirely. The first key insight comes from recent discoveries in neuroplasticity research. Your brain isn't a fixed organ with predetermined functions. It's a dynamic network that physically reorganizes itself based on how you use it. Neural pathways that you regularly activate become stronger and more efficient. Those you neglect gradually weaken and eventually disappear. This process, called activity-dependent plasticity, is how your brain optimizes itself for your specific environment. The second key insight comes from the emerging field of quantum neurobiology. Traditional neuroscience viewed the brain as essentially a biochemical computer, processing information through electrochemical signals between neurons. But quantum neurobiologists have discovered that certain brain structures, particularly microtubules within neurons, operate according to quantum principles rather than classical physics. These quantum-sensitive structures allow your brain to process information in ways that transcend conventional limitations of space, time, and causality. This is where the miracle pathway enters the picture, located primarily in the right temporoparietal junction, with connections to the pineal gland and the anterior cingulate cortex. This specialized neural network evolved specifically to process quantum-level information. Ancient traditions recognized this pathway long before modern neuroscience. They called it by various names: the third eye circuit, the crown chakra connection, the divine antenna, the mystical brain, all referring to the same neurobiological reality, a specialized brain network designed to perceive and interact with quantum-level phenomena. This pathway allows for experiences that seem miraculous from the perspective of classical physics. Spontaneous healing, non-local awareness, knowing things at a distance, consciousness-directed manifestation, transcendent states of unity and connection. The third key insight, and the most concerning, is that this pathway is rapidly atrophying in the modern human brain. Three specific factors are accelerating this atrophy. First, our information environment has shifted dramatically from direct experience to mediated reality. We increasingly perceive the world through screens, algorithms, and artificial constructs rather than through direct sensory engagement. This shift has redirected neural resources away from the miracle pathway toward networks that process symbolic and virtual information. Second, electromagnetic pollution from wireless technology creates interference patterns that disrupt the quantum coherence necessary for this pathway to function. The specific frequencies emitted by modern devices create what neurobiologists call quantum decoherence in the very brain structures designed to process quantum information. Third, cultural programming systematically dismisses and discourages experiences associated with this pathway. From early childhood, we're taught to prioritize rational, linear thinking while dismissing intuitive, non-linear awareness as imagination or coincidence. This social conditioning creates what neuroscientists call top-down inhibition, higher cognitive functions actively suppressing signals from the miracle pathway. The combined effect of these three factors has created a situation where this specialized neural network is disappearing from the human brain at an alarming rate. Neuroimaging studies comparing contemporary humans with indigenous populations less exposed to these factors show up to 30% reduction in density and activity in the brain regions associated with the miracle pathway. If this trend continues, future generations may completely lose the neurobiological capacity for experiencing what we call miraculous, the ability to directly perceive and interact with quantum-level reality. The good news is that neuroplasticity works both ways. Just as neglect causes neural pathways to atrophy, targeted activation can restore and strengthen them, even in adults whose miracle pathways have significantly diminished. Now I'm going to share the precise protocol for reactivating and strengthening your miracle pathway before it disappears entirely. This protocol combines cutting-edge neuroscience with ancient practices specifically designed to stimulate this specialized neural network. Step 1. Quantum field resonance. This technique creates the specific brainwave pattern necessary to activate the miracle pathway. Find a quiet space where you won't be disturbed. Sit comfortably with your spine straight. Close your eyes and take 3 deep breaths. Then, using stereo headphones, listen to a binaural beat tuned to 7.83 Hz, the Schumann resonance frequency that naturally stimulates the miracle pathway. As you listen, place your attention at the center of your brain, in the region of the pineal gland. Visualize this area illuminating with a soft blue-white light that gradually expands to fill your entire cranium. Maintain this practice for exactly 9 minutes, the precise duration shown in EEG studies to initiate quantum coherence in neural networks. This creates what neuroscientists call phase-locked oscillations in the miracle pathway, preparing it for activation. Step 2. Neuroplastic Redirection. This technique redirects neural resources back to the miracle pathway through targeted sensory engagement. Immediately following the resonance practice, perform this specific sequence. Place your palms together in front of your heart. Press firmly enough to feel your pulse in your hands. Focus your complete attention on the sensation of your heartbeat in your palms. As you maintain this focus, slowly separate your hands about 6 inches, keeping your attention on the energetic sensation between them. Most people will begin to feel a subtle tingling, pressure, or magnetic-like quality in this space. This sensation is created by quantum field interactions detected by specialized mechanoreceptors in your palms that directly connect to the miracle pathway. By consciously focusing on these subtle sensations, you're redirecting neural resources to the very networks designed to process quantum information. Maintain this practice for 6 minutes, gradually expanding your awareness to include the quantum field surrounding your entire body. Step 3. Non-local consciousness activation. This advanced technique activates the specific function of the miracle pathway responsible for non-local awareness and manifestation. Continuing from the previous step, close your eyes and visualize a person or situation physically distant from your current location. See this distant subject with as much sensory detail as possible. Notice colors, sounds, movements, and emotional qualities. Then, with focused intention, extend your consciousness toward this visualization as if you could actually perceive it directly rather than imagining it. This creates what quantum neurobiologists call entangled cognition, a state where your consciousness establishes non-local connection with the subject of your focus. The key distinction is that you're not merely visualizing, you're extending your actual awareness beyond the physical limitations of your sensory organs. This directly activates the non-local processing capabilities of the miracle pathway. Maintain this extended awareness for 12 minutes, allowing impressions to arise without analyzing them. Step 4. Miracle circuit integration. This final step integrates the activated pathway into your everyday neural functioning, preventing it from being re-inhibited by habitual brain patterns. Return your awareness to your physical body. Place one hand on your forehead and one on the back of your head. Take 7 deep breaths while silently repeating, "I now integrate this activated pathway into my complete neural network. My brain is rewired to perceive and create beyond conventional limitations. The miracle circuit is now active and accessible in all states of consciousness." This declaration, combined with the physical touch at both ends of the miracle pathway, creates what neuroplasticity researchers call self-directed neural integration, consciously guiding your brain to maintain the newly activated connections. For maximum effectiveness, perform this complete protocol 3 times weekly for 40 days. The specific duration required for stable neuroplastic changes according to the latest research. As you consistently activate this pathway, you'll begin experiencing distinct shifts in your perception and capabilities. First phase, days 1-12, increased synchronicities and meaningful coincidences, enhanced sensory acuity, especially for subtle energies. more vivid and prophetic spontaneous insights about situations and people. Second phase, days 13-26, direct knowing of information without learning it. Conventionally, increased influence over random events and circumstances, heightened intuitive guidance in decisions, physical sensations that accurately predict future events. Third phase, days 27-40, conscious direction of healing energy to physical conditions, direct perception of quantum-level information fields, manifestation abilities that operate with increased speed and precision, spontaneous access to wisdom beyond your personal experience. These aren't supernatural abilities. They're the natural functions of a brain region specifically evolved to interact with quantum-level reality, functions that have been suppressed by modern conditions, but can be fully restored through targeted activation. Now, an important clarification. This isn't about developing psychic powers for personal gain. It's about restoring your brain's natural capacity to perceive and interact with reality in its complete form, not just the limited slice accessible to conventional awareness. The miracle pathway evolved for a crucial evolutionary purpose: to allow human consciousness to function in harmony with the quantum foundation of existence. Without this pathway, we're essentially navigating reality with critical sensory systems offline, like trying to understand the ocean while being colorblind, deaf, and unable to feel wetness. By reactivating this pathway, you're not gaining supernatural abilities. You're simply restoring your full natural perception, the birthright of human consciousness that's being systematically diminished in our modern environment. The implications extend far beyond individual experience. As more people reactivate their miracle pathways, collective consciousness begins to shift. Solutions to seemingly impossible problems emerge. Healing occurs at both personal and societal levels. New possibilities for human evolution become accessible. This is why I urge you to begin this protocol immediately, not just for your own expanded capabilities, but because humanity needs as many fully activated brains as possible to navigate the complex challenges we face. Your brain is literally wired for miracles, but that wiring is in danger of disappearing. The choice is yours. Allow this extraordinary neural pathway to atrophy into extinction, or activate it now and step into the full potential of human consciousness. The miracle isn't something that happens to you. It's something that happens through you when your brain operates at its complete capacity. Begin today. Activate your miracle pathway. Experience reality as it truly exists. If you found this protocol valuable, I invite you to explore my video How to Access the Akashic Records and Communicate Directly with Higher Intelligence, where I reveal additional techniques that work synergistically with the miracle pathway activation to expand your consciousness even further. Share in the comments your experience after beginning this protocol. What shifts have you noticed in your perception or capabilities? Your insights might help others recognize the subtle but profound changes that occur as this pathway reactivates.